Hello everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. Just in case we haven't met before, my name is Rachel. Today we're doing a nice full body flow, so find some space to move and let's get started. So let's begin today in just a nice comfy seat. You could place your hands on your knees or in your lap. Let your eyes close whenever you're ready to do so. Just take a moment to feel the ground beneath you. And maybe gently press the ground away and see if you can lengthen your spine a little bit more. Let's take a slow, deep breath in and out. Do that again, a nice slow deep breath in and out. And one more time, fill your body up with air and let it all go. Awesome, you guys. We're going to stay here just a little bit longer. But if you want to warm up through the neck, you can let your chin start to tip forwards towards your collarbone. As you inhale, roll your head over towards your right shoulder. As you exhale, bring your chin back down. And inhale over to the other side. And you could continue to move from shoulder to shoulder, rolling the head, side to side, all the while softening throughout the forehead and the jaw, and trying to make your half head roll circle as smooth as it can be from side to side. And then the next time you bring your chin down towards your collarbone, just pause there and then check in with your spine. Can you sit taller? Let your head stay tipping forwards for just another breath. And then use an inhale to lift your chin slowly up. You can open your eyes if you'd like. We're going to make our way into tabletop onto our hands and knees. And once you get there, spread your fingers wide. Maybe give the hips a little bit of a sway side to side. And if you want to make some circles with the shoulders around the wrists, it could be a half circle. It could be a full circle. Just warming up the wrists, waking up the forearms. If you're making a full circle, you can switch directions. Maybe you're making a half circle. Or maybe your wrists are telling you, I'm not sure about this today. However you want to move or don't move, just take another breath. An inhale followed by an exhale. And if you are moving around here, you can slow it down, set your tabletop back up, maybe re-gripping the hands, but you can tuck the toes and lift your knees up and into your downward facing dog. Maybe pedal the feet a few times. Bend and straighten the legs. Press into the hands. A nice deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then use an inhale to look forwards. As you exhale, walk up to the top of your mat. And once you get there, inhale for a half lift. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach up. Exhale, lower your arms to your sides. Add a shoulder roll in and an inhale to reach up. As you exhale, fold forwards and pause. Pause in your forward fold. If your hands touch the ground, you might try to be a little bit lighter through them. You could rest on the top of the hands, maybe let the palms face up. And if your hands don't touch the ground, just let them dangle or hold your elbows instead. You can sway here a little bit if it feels good, or you can be still. But see if you can bend the knees to let the chest get a bit heavier. Trying to create space in the lower back. And if you do, if you're holding your elbows or you've got your hands against the ground, just lift up a little. Lift up a little with the hands and then take an inhale to lift the chest higher. Half lift. So your hands might be on your shins or by the knees. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhale. Come all the way up to standing. Reaching up and exhale. Lower your arms down to your sides. Take a shoulder roll here and an inhale to reach up. Exhale. Folding forward. Inhale to lift halfway and exhale to fold down. Let's plant our hands, take the feet back into downward facing dog. Press the ground away. A nice big inhale and exhale. And then use an inhale to look forwards again. Exhale, walk on up to the top of your mat. Once you get there, inhale for a half lift. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach up and exhale, lower your arms down to your sides. Shoulder roll if you want one. And inhale to reach up and exhale as you fold forwards. Inhale into a half lift. Exhale, fold down, plant the hands and take your right foot back into a lunge. We're going to lower the knee. You can rest on top of the back foot. We can heel toe our foot off to the left side too for a lizard lunge. Plant the hands under the shoulders, sink into the hips. Now, if you're on the top of that back foot, you can stay there or you can tuck the toes, up to you. But we're just gonna try to push into the foot and hover the knee, just to squeeze and wake up the leg. Press the ground away into the hands and into that left foot. And if you are hovering your knee right now, relax it back down. Bring your right hand to the edge of the mat so there's some space between your foot and your hand, your left foot and your right hand. And then take the chest, turn it, open it up to the left side for a twist. Maybe your hand will find your knee. Maybe you'll reach up. Take another inhale here. And as you exhale, bring the left hand down, bring the right hand in under the shoulders again. Plant the hands, get ready to press into the hands. If you want to tuck the toes, if you want to squeeze that leg to lift the knee, you can do it from the top of the foot or from the tucked toes. But if you're hovering that knee, squeezing that leg, gently rest it back down. Now heel toe your foot back to the middle of the mat and then send your hips back, lengthening through the front leg. Maybe you're pressing the ball of your foot into the ground. Maybe you're going to point your toes up, find your hamstring, your half split. And then just bend back into your front knee, back to your lunge. You might tuck the toes and lift the knee up. Take an inhale to look forwards and exhale. Bring your back foot to the top. Take an inhale for a half lift and exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, come all the way up, reach up. Exhale, lower your arms to your sides and maybe add a shoulder roll in. Take an inhale to reach up. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, folding forwards, planting the hands, and our left foot is coming back. You can bring the knee down since we know where we are going. If you want to heel toe your foot to the right, set up your lizard lunge. Hands under the shoulders to start. Sinking into the hips. If you want to lift your back knee, push into the foot, squeeze the leg, hover the knee. Press into the hands, press into the right foot too. And then gently relax the knee back down. Your left hand might move to the edge of the mat, and your chest could start to turn towards the right. Maybe the hand is on the knee. Maybe you are reaching up. Staying for an inhale, and then as you exhale, bringing the hands down under the shoulders again. And then one more time, a little hover of the knee if you want it. Press the ground away. And then gentle as you bring the knee down, sink into the hips. And then we can start to heel toe the foot back to the middle. Sending the hips back for your half split. Maybe start with a push of the toes down. And then maybe pointing the toes up. You can bend back into that front knee, option to lift the back knee up. Once you're in your lunge, inhale to gaze forwards and exhale, bring your back foot to the top of your mat. Take an inhale for a half lift. And then exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, let's come all the way up to standing. Exhale, lower your arms down to your sides, maybe a shoulder roll. So we're going to step our feet a little out a little bit wider. I'm going to go just inside the edge of the mat. Point your toes forwards. Now we're going to fold forwards with the upper body. So your hands could find your hips. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, you can start to fold, bend the knees, lean forwards. And if your hands are on your hips, maybe they can slide right into the hip crease. As you tip down, maybe you can keep a finger or two in that hip crease and gently push backwards a little bit. And then, as you keep folding, you can take the hands, you could bring them to the ground. If they touch, you might try to turn the palms to face up. Maybe the fingers point towards the toes. Maybe you hold your elbows instead. You can bend your knees any amount. If you have the hands on the ground and the palms facing up, you might be sliding your hands underneath your feet for gorilla pose. Now, if you did tuck your hands under your feet, you can take them back out. You might bring the hands back towards the hip crease. See if maybe the middle finger or a different finger can slide into the hip creases and gently push into them, push them back, and then we're just going to start to lift slowly. If you reach the halfway point with the upper body, see if you can adjust your fingers in your hip crease, push back a little bit, and then stand all the way up. Nice, you guys. You can bring your feet back together, maybe to the top of the mat if you're not there for some reason. Roll your shoulders back and down and take an inhale to reach up. Exhale as you fold forwards. Inhaling into a half lift. Exhale as you fold down. Plant your hands, take both feet back into downward facing dog. Press the ground away. Nice big inhale. And as you exhale, let's bring our knees down. down to the mat, to our tabletop. Now we are going to sit back towards the heels. You can keep the knees together. You can widen the knees. We're going to be tipping forwards. This may look like child's pose, or you might go hands-free. But you can decide how wide your knees are, how far you tip forwards. If you're going to be hands-free or not, you can reach your arms forwards. But if your hands want to slip just into those nice, lovely hip creases that you have, you can just put a little bit of a push on them, a little bit of a pressure, and then start to slowly tip forwards and keep gently pressing into the hip creases and see how slow you can tip forwards with the chest, using the core, using that little press into the hip creases, using a little push into the legs, into the ground, and you're gonna go as low as you can go until maybe your forehead can touch, to take some of the weight, and then maybe you can push just a little bit more into those hip creases. And then you can release your hands to the ground. You can reach them forwards in front of you. And just a fancy way to end up in child's pose. Notice any sensations flowing throughout your body. How's your breath right now? When you are ready to move, you can bring the hands closer to the shoulders, start to lift up. Just come into tabletop. Maybe take a sway through the hips before you sit all the way down, legs out in front of you. And just give your knees a hug, maybe a rock side to side. You can thank yourself for showing up today. Just 20 minutes in an entire day. So good. And can be just enough. We're going to lay down. You might hug your knees towards your chest. You might have your feet on the ground. Just feel the ground beneath you. Oh, if you do have your feet lifted still, you might bring them down. You might make a diamond shape with the leg. Breathing softly. Relaxing throughout the body. And maybe you will stay here for a few moments. Or send your legs long for Shavasana. But I do encourage you to stay here for as long as you have time for, just relaxing. Thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day. And until next time, namaste.